So just real quick, there's nothing unlawful about this proposal. These are just ideas that we're contemplating to try to avoid some of the problems that we suspect are going to come from the development. If this is not where the community wants to go, the board wants to go, then that's fine. But what we're doing is not hiding this from anybody. It was my idea with the board to put this together. And we wanted to get input from the homeowner, especially when it's going to impact their assessments to some degree. So there's nothing unlawful about it. And look, the idea that I somehow have like a political stake in this, I don't live in the community. I'm just doing what the board is asking me to do. So if this is where the board and the community wants to go, then so be it. But there's nothing illegal. We don't meet in private other than to talk in attorney-client privilege, which is required in the law that I talk to my clients in attorney-private privilege. We're not trying to hide anything. These are just the options that we're faced with. So, and however it pans out, there's only time will tell.
Is your client the board, or is your client the homeowners of the association?
My client is the association.
Okay. So you can talk to all of us.
No, my client is, but I take orders from the board of directors. That's the parliamentary body that represents the association. So that's where my professional duties of loyalty lie.
Listening to you talk, I think you've already, the board, I think, with reference for you and your knowledge, I think you guys have decided that the loan is the way to go. I think, you think it's futile to fight it in court and try to stop them and all that. The association has reserve money for emergencies just like this. How much money does the association have in reserve that they could just...
By law, the reserves cannot be used for anything that we're doing. By law, the reserves have to be used just for repair and replacement of common areas.
Fair enough. That's a good question.
So it's not a source of income that we can consider in my opinion.
Which way are you leading the association? You're the attorney. You should give the advice.
It depends on what the board thinks is important. If the board thinks it's important to not have any portion of the golf course developed, I think this is a good option. Because the alternative is we can have those 30 lots, but it's going to be difficult to sort of integrate. Because ideally, my position would be to have those 30 lots annexing this association be just like everybody else. But that's not an option. So we're left with either this option to basically buy out, so to speak, Century Community's interest so we don't have any development, or we live with another community that's within us but not a part of us, and now we're having to come up with ways we can't enforce our rules against them, we can't collect assessments against them, but they're using our streets, our guard gates, all those things. So that's where it becomes complex, is that we're working out that relationship. It's possible, it's doable. I mean, it's not like it's just messy. That's all. But if that's ultimately what happens, then so be it.
Is Elite Golf Management the company that is looking to purchase the golf course?
They didn't give me the name. I don't know the name. I know it's a golf course operator, but that's about all I know of it.
Thank you.
This is not the site. We're listening to the other homeowners. We're supposed to do the voice.
Okay, I thank you for your time. I've got a question on the purchase price or the negotiation price. If the community were to agree to that, then that golf course is sold intact, which I would think the value of a par 72 versus a par 68 would have more value to that owner. So are those numbers being, so they're not double dipping, they're getting money from us potentially and then turn around and sell the whole golf course versus a executive golf course.
And that's all through negotiation, right? I mean,
But I'm asking is that,
they may be calculating it that way. The number that they've given us most recently is $3 million. Now, if we can get in the past it's been $2 million.
Right.
I don't know if that considers any particular offer that they have on the table for the purchase of that golf course, whether it's a 72 par or a 60,
Okay.
whatever it may be.
Well,
I don't know that yet.
then my question would be, if we were to go through with that, would that be our land? So then, if that golf course company coming in wants that course intact, then it seems to me like they'd have to deal with the homeowner association to purchase that back, or...
Yeah, so we would own the property, it would still be owned by the golf course company, whoever owns it, but they would own it as it appears now, so to speak, and we would have that deed restriction in place. So it wouldn't be able to develop
the entire course?
the entire course, all the land.
Okay.
Just with all due respect, I do believe litigation is a losing battle. on this, given the fact that, my knowledge as an attorney, but I don't do this kind of work. But given the fact that the county's already agreed with this, that the golf course is zoned residential, and the fact that that nobody's view was protected. The documents every single person signed disclosed in multiple places that your view is not protected. Whatever you paid for is what you got, but that didn't mean you could build, they couldn't build on a golf course. And it was documented in it's in the declaration, it's right on the website. You can go to it right now and see that your golf course view was not protected. Now my question is, I don't know how many houses views are affected by these 34 homes. Okay, I am not willing, in my personal opinion, to pay 1 cent to protect 4 houses' views on this golf course. I'm not. I would prefer that the 30 houses be built with preference of integrating into Rhodes Ranch Association, whether it be by maintenance agreement or some kind of easement or some kind of joint management arrangement, and let this go. It's a 72 versus 71 car golf course. It will not affect anybody except those 4 homes. And if there is a conflict of interest, they need to disclose it. If any board member's house is one of those homes, that conflict needs to be disclosed. And on that basis, that's what I would want, and that's what I'm hoping happens. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, about the litigation stuff, I mean, as an attorney, you know, they're expensive, they last for years, and, you know, while I think that we have strong arguments or stuff, you know, the other side has arguments as well. And it's like, I hate to say this, but most often, I mean, attorneys are the ones that win litigation. I mean, it works out that way. And you can win the small battles, but still lose the war, because keep in mind, they still own that golf course. And they can build it however they want, you know, subject to county regulations. So even if we somehow prevent them from building those 30 lots, it's still their property to build other things on. I mean, litigation is an option, but it's obviously not the ideal.
Okay, so I apologize. I tried to say that, but I was dealing with my kids. So my 2 cents, without being an attorney and this, that, and the other, all I know is this is just a number that showed up, that only 4 homes, but I can assure you, my life experience, more than 4 homes will be affected. You know that, okay? I assure all of you. Secondary to it is, the long and the short is, if you build those homes and you have a secondary HOA in there, that will be a cluster. It will be, this is what will happen. I can assure you. It's just no good. Now, I'm not about paying off anything, but to me, just like you said, I've also had this experience, it's a lose-lose situation when you're gonna go attorneys to attorneys. So for me, and I don't come from money, but $250, even if we paid it off, honestly, to get this away from us, and then no homes are affected, 0. We get to maintain how it is. What's it worth to you? That's all what's it worth? For me, paying $500, fine, over the span of a year or 2, or just to walk away from this, I'm telling you, it's not worth the stress or the headache.
Yeah, and I don't know.
The only thing is, and the only thing I would like to, the gentleman before me was talking about it, was instead of, okay, you pay them off, that's fine, it's coming to agreement, $2 million, here you go, we pay it off. For those of us who are homeowners, I moved here for the golf course, and to have that totally screwed over, forgive me for saying it, but like, that just makes me want to leave, and I mean, and I don't want to. So the only thing about it is, man, to me, it sounds like, fine, let's pay them out the $2 million, but what kind of assurance do we have that they don't build on if it's still their property? That's all I care about.
It's in conjunction with that deed restriction I was mentioning.
Is that 50 or 20 years?
50 years, 50-year restriction is golf course or open space is what.
But what is open space? See, there's
it's you can't build residential on it basically, and the reason you have that or open space designation is because if a golf course isn't profitable to operate, no one's going to come in and operate it, right? It's just going to sit.
It's always.
And then if that's the case, then you'll always have an operator. You know, if it's always profitable, then someone's going to own it. So
my hope,
and that's the best guarantee that we get. Even if they build those 30 homes, the deed restriction, the terms remain the same, it just covers more property, you know, so.
Building those homes will change this night and day. It's two different HOAs, I'm just telling you, it's so worth paying $200-300, whatever.
Greg, as you stated, you represent the homeowners, correct?
The association.
Of the association, which is the homeowners, correct?
Well, the association is a legal corporation that's run by a board of directors. So it's like if I were to represent Microsoft, I wouldn't be legal counsel for all the shareholders.
As you know, Las Vegas is a very small town, and everybody knows what's going on. I have been informed through people from Colorado that you, by the direction of our HOA, our board, have been negotiating to buy a 50-year deed restriction, going to pledge our funds, and I don't know how you're going to do this without coming to the masses. There's 4,000, close to 4,000 homes in here. This board is running rogue. They're doing what they want to do. People can scream, they can yell, whatever. But I have pretty good sources because I have two of my close friends that sit on the board of Century Incorporated. And you're actively negotiating, and it's going to force a $2 to $3 million lien to our HOA funds to satisfy a note, and you personally have gone out and have paid a hard money loan and access of close to $3 million.
Sir, why, I mean, that's what we're talking about. I'm telling you this.
But you've already done it.
No, there's no loan signed.
All right.
I mean, your sources are telling them we're telling you now that we've been negotiating with them. We're trying to work this out, but nothing's been signed yet.
And then the caveat.
That's the whole purpose of this meeting.
The only way they will go through with it if we give them an exemption, which means if there is a class action lawsuit, that Century will not be sued and we will pay the legal fees.
I mean, those are all terms that have to be worked out, but I mean, there's nothing as covert as you're trying to make. We're telling you here, this is what we're doing, what we're entertaining you, ladies.
After the fact.
Yeah, he has friends on Century.
Okay. Tell them to sit up.